Good morning. Well, as everybody knows, Mueller give his Democrat comrades what they wanted to hear. Exactly what they wanted. He didn't have the proof to indict or convict or anything. He didn't have proof to push that. But he still give them what they wanted to hear. No, I can't exonerate the president. I can't exonerate him. I can't mark him, give him a clean bill of health. I can't do that. That's all they wanted. They knew they wasn't going to get a conviction. They knew they wasn't going to get proof. But they got what they wanted, people. They got a reason to keep their lie going. They got what they wanted. They got what they wanted. They got the word that kept their lie going. No, I can't exonerate him. No, I can't say he didn't collude. I can't say he didn't obstruct justice. I can't exonerate him. They give him all. He gave them all they needed to keep their lie going. That's all it was. And this ignorant game that Mueller pulled, I don't know. I don't know what page was that. He played a game on them. He played a game. I honestly believe it was a game. It was nothing but a show. It was nothing but a show. That what they done was nothing but a show. They wanted to interrogate Mueller or question him. It was nothing but a show. That's all it was. And he gave the Democratic Party, those lying, scheming, cheating liberals and socialists, he gave them what they wanted. No, I cannot exonerate the president. I've put a few little videos, and I've been fooling with this Facebook thing and Twister World News for a few years. But I've told it, I don't know how many times. I'm gonna tell you again, because hopefully there'll be another new set of ears, another new set of eyes will hear it and see it, and they'll say it's starting to make sense. It's starting to make sense what's going on in D.C. It's all starting to piece together, because it is piecing together, people. But as long as these Democrats can say, well, we're investigating, you can't stop us, we're investigating. As long as they're able to say that, justice is held back. That bunch of perverts are in trouble. That's what you have to realize. They are in trouble. And when that investigation ends, they've had the friggin' lick. And they know it. Van Jones told it when he was on CNN. He told it back a few years back. Glenn Beck was on Fox News, and Glenn showed a video of Van Jones talking to a group of people. Van Jones, in the front of this group of people, he said, "We will either win or be crushed. We will either win or be crushed." He didn't say we will win or get beat. We will either win or lose. He said we will either win or get crushed or be crushed. What were they doing? What were they doing? Why would someone be crushed if they didn't win? Why crushed? Why crushed? A few years ago, Hall & Co here in southern West Virginia, off-road on a surface coal mine. I was driving a truck for a contractor. The mother company had the coal. They were mining it, but they was contracting the coal haul, to people that own trucks and, haul. But I'm riding around the road one day, Hall & Co, and the Lord spoke to me. He said, they're crashing your economy. They're crashing your economy. Well, stupidity can do it. Ignorance can do it. Different things and good, bad decisions and stuff can do it. It's not good. This is not good for the economy to crash. It's not good at all. But at that point you're saying, well, something needs to change. It's basically about all you can think. A few weeks later, he speaks to me again. The Lord speaks to me again. And he said, "You're being subdued." He said, "You're being subdued." Well, you're being subdued. That means someone is taking over. They're getting control. They're dominating. They're overpowering. They're bringing you under suppression and oppression. They're doing things to get their will pushed over on you. You're being subdued. Well, but after he tells you that, and then you look back where he's told you they're crashing your economy. But now he's telling you you're being subdued. See, this was all going on under Obama's administration. Okay? That's when the Lord spoke to me. Obama was in office. I haven't driven them trucks in 5 years. 6 years, over 5 years. But this was going on under Obama's administration. Obama done a lot of things, man. He done a lot of things. Obama nudged and he pushed the laws and the things of this nation. He'd nudge here. He'd nudge here. He'd nudge here. He'd nudge over here. He'd nudge here. He'd push. He just nudged the laws. You remember he said when he come into office, "I want to transform America." Obama is an Islamic socialist. Islam is a socialist system, people. Face it. It is. It just is. Islam is a socialist system. There's another thing I want to tell you, but yet don't want to warp your little head. Islam is a socialist system. Obama, when he was in school, one of his old schoolmates said Obama looked into Cloward and Piven. Cloward and Piven. Now think about it. He looked into Cloward and Piven. That's what one of Obama's schoolmates had said. He looked into Cloward and Piven. Well, do you know? Have you ever Googled it, Cloward and Piven? You need to. Find out what Cloward and Piven is. Cloward and Piven was the belief that you could put enough stress and burden on the American economic system, upon the American dollar, that you could actually cause it to go under. You could crush it. You could cause it to fail, to crash. Obama, according to one of his schoolmates, said Obama looked into Cloward and Piven. Listen. Now someone's going to have to fact check me, do something. The word was when Obama when Obama came into office, George Washington Bush had left this country $6 trillion in debt. Now that was the word when Obama came into office, okay? Obama was in office a year and a half, 2, 3 years, and he started saying we were in debt $9 trillion when I came into office. He was in there a little while longer, and he started saying we were in debt $11 trillion when I came into office. Now, there's a way to find it. There's a way to find it and prove me right or wrong. They've got the evidence out there. It's out there. I wish somebody would find it and prove me right or prove me wrong. Don't come to me with a lie. At least have enough decency and honor to be honest with yourself and with the people and with me. If you can't do that, don't even look. We don't need another friggin' pervert. I'm right. And I'm pretty doggone sure I am that he had said those things. All right. But if I'm right. See, when Obama left office, we were $20 trillion down. $20 trillion in debt. Okay? 19, 20 trillion. Around 20 trillion. This is the thing. This is the thing. If I am right, Obama didn't just add $8 trillion of debt to this nation. Obama pushed us over $1 trillion a year for every year he was in there. He drove this nation in debt $13 trillion instead of 8, which would play exactly into Cloward and Piven. You could put enough burden and stress on the economic system, you could crash the country. The economic system could go under. I wish somebody that knew friggin' what the hell they's doing could take this and give it to Fox or somebody and let it be checked out. Find out if I'm right or wrong. If I had heard Obama say that, I want to know myself. I'm pretty sure I did. I didn't just bring this up, people. I put this on the internet several times. We need to know. We need to know. If I'm right, that means what God told me back in whatever 2011, 2012, 10, whatever. It means what God told me was dead on the man. I know God won't lie to you, and he won't lie to me. I know that. But this is the thing. If this is proven, then these people willfully are crashing our economy. Donald Trump he's saved billions of dollars. Billions upon billions of dollars have been saved. Where Trump cut things out that was costing us bunches of money. He's cut a lot of that waste out. But look at us. They just done another debt ceiling thing, man. And yet our debt didn't go down. If I'm not mistaken, our debt did not go down. They did not didn't stop the borrowing, didn't cut the borrowing back. You know that wall's being built costs billions of dollars, but do you realize that it cost this nation, what was it, 83 billion plus to deal with illegal immigration? You realize it's costing this nation huge amounts of money dealing with those people who cross the border illegally. And the Democratic Party's not wanting to stop it. They want it to continue. Obama, when he was in office and he was getting ready to leave, he said, I'm not running for office, but my policies are still on the table. And they are. Donald Trump has cut back everything that Obama done. Just about everything that Obama done, Donald Trump hacked it off. But Obama's policies is still in the minds of the liberals and the socialists. They are still carrying out his friggin' Islamic socialist rot. They're still carrying it out. They're still doing it. They get up there and they scream racism. Those friggin' Muslim women in office, they should have never gotten there. You know, do you think all these Somali refugees and stuff that were stuck in Minnesota, is it Minnesota? Where it was stuck up there, that this Omar came out of, that representative up there, she came out. You think it was by chance, that they were stuck there? They wasn't put there in one place for just because. They were put there to be a voice. They were put there to be an Islamic voice. And now Islam has people in office in our country. Islam is dead set against America. Islam is socialism, people, under the guise of religion. We have had people that left Islam have testified to that. Islam is a military socialist system under the disguise of religion. We've got people that's left Islam have testified to that. It's a lie, people. It's a friggin' lie. Listen, all them Muslims wasn't putting in one spot just per chance. Listen, there's a group of Muslims in America, or in West Virginia. There's a fellow here just a little while back. I was on Facebook. He was talking about it. Said it's costing this nation big money to house them, to keep them in West Virginia. I forget where he said it was at. But it's costing this nation or this state huge amounts of money to do them. Listen, those people, I don't know that all of them, but Islam teaches you can have multiple wives. Well, now, if you're knocking all your wives up, you're spitting out children. And if you're spitting out children and you're on the American welfare or handout system, you're collecting some good funds. A hell of a lot more than these black women that's bragged about getting pregnant and say, well, they'll just give me a bigger check. You're getting a hell of a lot more than what them black women are. People, they're playing the friggin' system. They're playing the system. American tax dollar is being wasted by perversions that our forefathers recognized. And when they began this nation and they formed the laws of this nation, they formed them under the leadership of the one true God, the Holy Scriptures, our Bible. There were laws that were put in there that protected the innocent, the honest, the upright, and the helpless, and it would judge those that are guilty. They were laws of moral stance, godly moral substance that kept justice alive and working. We got people in this nation that are working directly against our laws. They're manipulating us right through the legislations being passed by perverts in Congress. They're manipulating us right through the laws that the perverts in Congress have handed down to the courts to carry out. Justice is being held back. Perversions have been given right of way. Your family, your family, and your bloodline, you're paying for it. Me, my family, and bloodline, we're paying for it. Listen, when Obama was in, it was refugees coming. He had illegals. He stopped a lot of the illegals, but the refugees were coming in. The refugees were people that did not attain to our laws, to our thinking, to our rules of engagement and things. They were people that brought in their own thinking, and now they've placed people in Congress to piss on the American people to get what they want. We've been screwed. Obama pissed all over this nation. He pissed all over you. He pissed on your family. He pissed on your bloodline. He pissed on me. He pissed on my family. He pissed on my bloodline. We've been screwed. Obama's policies are still alive in the Democratic Party. And it's not just them. There's some Republicans up there just as guilty. Not near as many, but some. They're cheating the American people out of their heritage. They're cheating the American people out of their rights. They're cheating the American people out of justice. Obama's Islamic socialist rot is alive in the Democratic Party. It's alive in the Democratic Party. The lie of the Steele dossier, it was a lie. They paid $9 million for it. A lie. The man that wrote the lie, Christopher Steele, said it cannot be verified. They paid for it. They pushed it. That lie has cost this nation billions upon billions upon billions of dollars. Every day that the DNC or the Democratic Party, they push this investigation, they're hindering everything else from being carried out in this nation. They're no longer doing their job as Congress was meant to do. People, they're playing the lie. They're no longer doing their job. They're playing the lie. Illegal immigration is costing us big, huge amounts of money every year. Illegals. The Democratic Party is playing the lie. They're not dealing with the illegals. They're not dealing with the waste. They're not dealing with the other stuff. They're playing the lie. More and more names coming up. More and more names coming up. Cummings' wife. Others. Names popping up right and left. You got to think about all these players in the IRS when Lois Lerner, when Obama was in office, and the IRS was targeting conservative parties and rejecting tax exemptions and stuff like that. Rejecting, playing the games, giving favoritism to other groups that they agreed with. They'd give them favoritism, give them tax exemptions. Then they turned right around, Tea Party and others. They rejected their tax exemptions. They targeted them. They targeted them. They played bias games, political bias games against conservatives. Amazon, or eBay, Facebook, Twitter, playing biased political games against conservatives. CNN, MSNBC, NBC, CBS, ABC, New York Times, West Virginia's Charleston Gazette, Washington Post. I mean, the names, the list goes on and on and on, people. They're political. They're no longer agencies that stand for the news to be honest and upfront and truthful. They're political pawns. There was a report at one time when Obama was in office. Now, I don't know this, but I did see it. There was a report at one time that Obama was paying CNN. We know for a fact that Obama lied, and CNN, he'd be interviewed or whatever on CNN, and he would lie, and that those that are interviewing him would not stop, would not question him, would not call him out. They actually bragged on, we let him lie, we let him get by with it. People, you're gonna have to share these videos. I'm not talking political view. I'm talking right and wrong. I'm talking good and bad. I'm talking good versus evil. I'm trying to get down to where the rubber meets the road. Because if you don't get this rubber and road thing right, nothing else is going to work. You might as well just pull a gun out and shoot your own family. Because those people up there, they're going to. All they get up there, they get in power. All they're going to do is wait for you to open your mouth, contrary to them. And one of their little Hitler-looking clones is going to shoot them in the back of the head. You ever seen any of these videos where they'd line Jews up? They'd take a dozer or something and they'd make a big ditch with a dozer, and then these German soldiers would line up behind Jews. They'd stand them up on that ditch and pow, 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 and watch them just roll off into the ditch. Then they just cover them up. Socialism hasn't changed, people. Socialism hasn't changed. It doesn't have to be evil, but it is. They reject God. They reject truth and honor. It is still socialism. It hasn't changed. And all they're waiting on, look what they're doing. They're targeting conservatives. They target the honest, the decent, the morals, the godly. They target them. Why? Because they are the ones that are saying you're not doing right. You're not just. You're not honorable. You're cheating. You're lying to people. You're doing wrong. Moral, just, honorable, godly people are telling them, no, that's not the way it works. And they target them. Then they condemn the honest. They condemn the decent. They condemn the just. They condemn the godly. They condemn the moral. They're doing it all the time now. It's past practice for them. It's the norm for them. It's the norm for them. They're liars and cheats. It is the norm for the liberals and the socialists to condemn the honest. It's the norm for them now. I'm sitting on my side porch eating my breakfast one morning. Wasn't even thinking about this junk. This has been 2-3 years ago. Wasn't even thinking about this friggin' junk. And I just enjoying my breakfast, man, wolfing it down. And the Lord just up and speaks one word to me. Legitimacy. Sort of stunned me. I mean, I wasn't thinking about this. And just word, man. Legitimacy. But it got me to pondering the word. I chewed on it the rest of the day. And days later, I'm chewing on this, and it cleared up to me by that evening, but the words rode over in my mind many times. Legitimacy. What was he talking about? Legitimacy. Liberals and socialists whispered into the ears of the masses, and they convinced the masses that they should be given legitimacy, that they should be accepted right within their lies and their cheating and their crime. They had been given legitimacy right within their low-life actions. That's how these friggin' liberals and socialists up there in Congress, how they keep this little word investigation alive. Because they've been given legitimacy. They know for a fact, people, it's a lie. But yet they have legitimacy. They've got it going. The government protects them now. The government gives them a right of way to piss on justice, to piss on the law, to piss on the Constitution, to piss on the courts, to piss on everybody else. They have found legitimacy. You and your family's paying for it. You and your family is paying for what they've done. You're paying for it. You're just too friggin' ignorant to realize it. You're paying for it. You're just too ignorant to realize it. You are paying for it. Isaiah, Old Testament Bible. Isaiah chapter 32, 5 through 8. Verses 5 through 8. You need to read it. You need to read and understand. You need to read and understand. You know, Donald Trump has done a lot of good for this nation. He's done more for this nation than ever since Reagan anyway. Done more for this nation than any president. All the way back to Reagan. Reagan was a good president, and America loved him. He stood on godly moral principles, and America loved him. You know, they say, I seen a documentary here back. It's been, I don't know. It's been a few years ago. That they talked about in this documentary that Reagan had something like 90% approval rating of the nation. That Ronald Reagan was the beloved president of America. Donald Trump has done more for this nation than any of those since Reagan. And to be honest with you, dealing with the circumstances that he had to deal with, he probably actually done a hell of a lot more than Reagan did. But yet he's not given any credibility by the liberals and socialists. They refuse to give him credibility. They don't have a choice. They're in trouble. Justice is nipping at their heels, and they are in trouble. They are in trouble. Justice is nipping at their heels now. It's sad, you know. You think that about Trump, you know, him cutting a lot of waste. He has saved this nation, I don't know how many billions of dollars, man, a year. He saved us a bunch of money. But yet when they do their thing up there on borrowed money, have to borrow money to survive. And when they do their thing up there to borrow money, yet our debt doesn't go down. Our debt ceiling doesn't decrease. Why is that? Under Trump's leadership, we save billions upon billions of dollars. But yet when they borrow money, our debt ceiling doesn't go down. Our debt is not pulled back. Why is that? Why is that? You need to ask yourself the question, why is that going on? God told me they're crashing your economy. He told me that. Then he later told me you're being subdued. Connect the dots, people. Connect the dots. You got leadership up there that's robbing us blind, man. They are robbing the American people blind. Big government is killing this nation. It's killing this nation. All the junk that's coming out, and it's injustice is held back by one simple word that was brought to life by a bunch of lying liberals and scheming socialists. One word stops everything. That word is investigation. As long as the Democrats scream investigate, Trump's collusion, Trump's obstruction, as long as they scream that, justice is held back, and the American people, you and I, your family, my family, your bloodline, my bloodline, the American people are paying out their butts for it. You're going to have to get pissed. You're going to have to get pissed. You know, when our forefathers came from England, they come over here and try to start another life. And England wanted to bring their socialist tyranny over here, rule them and control them and bust them in the mouth with taxes again, like he done over in England, to come up for friggin' garbage. Our forefathers had to get pissed off enough to say, that's it. No more. The buck stops here. That's what's going to have to happen in America, people. That is what's going to have to happen in America. That's the only thing that'll probably shut these liberals and socialists down. Americans are going to have to get pissed off. They're going to have to get pissed off. That's the only thing that's going to stop these ignorance of blacks claiming everybody's racist. The Americans going to have to get pissed off. That's the only thing that's going to stop Antifa and others from going around and beating conservatives and beating up people like he did that reporter. Americans are going to have to get pissed off. We're going to have to get pissed off. Facebook, Twitter, Google, Amazon. Who knows where all and who all up there now in these tech companies are sticking their noses into people's personal lives and doing things to better themselves. And they're not supposed to be doing it. They're not supposed to be doing it. They are not supposed to be doing it. But they are doing it. Some of their own people have testified to it, that there's biasness in this stuff. That they're biased. Listen, the only thing I know is be straight with you. As long as you got your tongue up the butt of these liberals and socialists, they will continue spitting their diarrhea in your face. As long as you got your tongue up their butt, this garbage will continue. That's the only reason they get by with it now, because you enjoy it. You enjoy licking their butt. That's the only reason this garbage is going on. This could have been cut off 2 years ago had you not kept licking their butt. It's disgraceful, people. It's disgraceful. These friggin' socialist and Islamic countries over there laughing their butt off at America. Cause America's government's so friggin' full of shit they don't know how to act. It's disgraceful. And you're helping it. You're helping it. With your licking their butt, you're making it so. You're giving these socialists and these radical Islamists and everything else, you're giving them every joke they need to laugh at. You're doing it. You're doing it. Read Isaiah, Old Testament Bible. Isaiah chapter 32, verses 5 through 8. It'll tell you why this junk goes on. It'll tell you what is wrong in D.C. It'll tell you what's wrong in D.C. It'll tell you what's wrong in Congress. Share the video, people. Get off your butt and share it. I don't have the finances to boost it. You know that Facebook is looking for money. I don't have the money to push this stuff. But I'm not a politician. I'm an American. I stand on a Christian foundation that truth and honor can serve, and justice will help us. Justice will deliver us. I don't give a dog piss who's in office, whether Democrats or Republicans. I want someone up there to tell the truth. I want us to get back to where the rubber meets the road, when we start judging things as they are and not what everybody else wants them to be. Share the video. Get off your butt. Stop being passive. Do something. Do something. Your country's in trouble. Do something.